This video is episode 7, my spiritual journey. My name is Jessica Madden. On my channel here on YouTube, I help people raise their awareness and become very successful as a result. I share the great tips and amazing lessons I picked up throughout my life, and the great tips and amazing lessons I pick up every single day of my life. I help people gain awareness, raise their awareness, and become very successful. Reminding you once again, the 100th subscriber to my channel here on YouTube will receive from me a free gift, and the shipping of that gift free on the house. Without further ado, let's get into it. My spiritual journey. You know, today I was thinking my thought pattern is going back to 3D. What does that mean? What does that mean, going back to 3D? That actually means that my thought pattern was going back into duality, was going back into negativity. And it felt disheartening. It felt like, oh my God, I'm on the spiritual journey. I thought I'm on the spiritual journey, but listen to the but. I was able to neutralize the thought, and I was able to discern and realize where I am. I know I aim for the 5D, which is all about no duality, which is all about being connected with the people around you, which is all about being aware of the fact that the people around you are just another version of you. Or as Neville Goddard says, the people around us are just another version of us pushed out. So I'm aware of that. But I was being pulled back into a low frequency, because that happens on the spiritual journey. It's part of the journey. But I was able to neutralize it, and I was able to discern and realize what was happening. That's something I wouldn't have been able to do in the past. In the past, I would have been affected by that. I would have said, oh my God, the negativity around me is just happening to me. Like I said in the past, life happens for you, not to you. And I'm gaining that. I'm gaining a lot of track with that. I'm gaining a lot of perspective with that, and a lot of success with that. So yes, I was going back into a weird negative spiral. Like I'd walk past a I walked past a homeless person on the street, and I started thinking, oh my God, I might end up homeless one day. How am I going to feel? And I'm going to fall back into negativity. But I labeled it, and I figured out what it was. That's the first thing I want to talk about today. I'm much more in the 5D, and when I fall into the 3D, I'm able to discern and figure out where I'm standing. What else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about my diet. Just under 2 weeks ago, I stopped drinking coffee. After 20 years of being a coffeeholic, that's another way to call it, a coffeeholic. After 20 years of being a coffeeholic, I stopped. Why did I stop? Because God through the universe wanted me to stop. But technically, why did I stop? Because one day I had to rush out and I didn't have coffee that day. And I had a bit of a headache, I had a coffee headache. But the next day I said, you know what, let me see what happens today. If I don't have coffee, which was the second day, let's see what happens. Am I still gonna have a coffee headache? It was a little less. And the third day, it was gone. So I said, goodbye. Who needs coffee? Who needs loads of coffee? Now I have heard that there's a way of having coffee which is very healthy, very spiritual. If you have coffee in a small cup. My friend was telling me about it. They do that in China a lot. Spiritual people do that in China. I'll check it out one day, I guess. We'll get there. But right now there's no coffee in my life. What else? Well, this week I did the 3-day water fast. How did I do that? And how did I get through 3 days drinking just water and feeling more energized than the days before? How did I do that? Yes, I did have a bit of difficulty with it. As you can see in my spring video of about just over a minute, when I was struggling a bit. I was a little sluggish that day, but I jumped into the shower, and you saw what I looked like after I jumped into the shower. Yes, we did have that a little bit. I would say about 90% of my 3-day water fast was a bliss. 90% of my 3-day water fast, I was full of energy, and I was full of smiles and confidence. I loved it. Why is that, you're probably going to ask? How could that be? I've given you a very materialistic response to that question, but I think it also correlates to the fact that I am on a spiritual journey. Well, you're on a spiritual journey, and I also don't have a lot of attachment to food anymore. As you could probably understand by now and discern by now, I'm not that attached to food anymore. So I don't really feel that desperation for food. I can survive a 3-day water fast without much problems. And it's also worth noting that the reason why I got through it well was because food is not actually something which you need every single day, and it's not actually something which you need as much as you think you do. And you realize that when you're doing a water fast. I spoke about the second day of my water fast when I woke up in the morning, and I felt like I felt a little bit like I'm a dead person. Why did I feel that? I felt that because I didn't have attachment to food, which is a lot about what human beings believe to be part of their identity. What do a lot of people think that their identity is connected to? Food. Everything's about food. And as one YouTuber says, 30% of the food you need, and the other 70% is for your doctor's bank account. So I don't know if everybody's gonna like that one, but I've seen that. People didn't like that when I told them that, but that's okay. You probably want to know where I am standing. I'm standing right where the first railway station was created. The very first railway was created over here, which is pretty powerful. How does it correlate to my spiritual journey? It's about intent. Railway is about intent because people want to travel from A to B without horses. It's about making life a little easier. When you're on a spiritual path, you make life easier and more meaningful. And it's also about renewal. It was a brand new idea when the railway station, the first railway, made its trek over 150 years ago. It was a brand new idea. Spirituality is all about new ideas and very empowering self-validation. I'm not sure if you could see it, but right behind me is the description of this being the first railway station in the world. Neville Goddard talks about the idea that the people in our lives are another version of us pushed out. And I have begun to feel that more and more and more. I've begun to understand that on a much better level. I'm still not fully there. It's still a concept which is hard to understand when you live in a 3D world. But I'm beginning to gain track with this thing, and I'm beginning to understand it better and better and better. That's part of my spiritual journey. On this spiritual journey, I often walk around without shoes and socks in grass, which has been scientifically proven as well. You can get a proper glance, here you are. I walk around without shoes and socks, which has been scientifically proven to help you in many ways. Obviously, a doctor doesn't want you to know about it because there wouldn't be a lot of money for him or his pharmaceutical companies who he's aligned with. But yeah, it's very, very healthy, very, very helpful. I walk on the grass a lot, and I pray as well whilst walking on the grass. What else have I been recognizing on this amazing spiritual journey, this being the 7th episode? I've noticed that I'm not affected by the people in my life anymore. You know, sometimes people are frustrated and they take their frustration out on us. I've been able to worry less about it. I've been guilt-tripped a lot less as a result. There are people in this world who like to guilt-trip others, and in my past, I was prone to falling into that kind of thing. I was prone to falling into people's acts of guilt-tripping, acts of gaslighting, I've put out a few videos recently about gaslighting. If you want to hear more about gaslighting, please leave in the comment section down below. But on my spiritual journey, one of the next things I'm going to talk about here is about my ability to be gaslit a lot less. I'm not manipulated by others. I understand that people have issues and there's also the need to vent. And often enough, it's important not to respond because people need to be able to vent. And when you allow them to vent, they're grateful for it. So don't find answers and solutions to everybody's problems when they come throwing them at you. When they tell you about them, allow them to vent. It's important to allow people to vent. And people value a friend who allows them to be there for them to vent to. So that's another thing I've been gaining track with. Hey, I'm by a railway station, the very first railway station that was built. There's no train yet today, but the very first railway station was built in this park. And I'm gaining track, which is symbolized by the railway station behind me. What are your thoughts about my spiritual journey? And do you want to hear more about it? Do you want me to share some of the experiences I've had with clairvoyance or with synchronicity? Please put it in the comment section if you want to hear more about it. Please leave it in the comment section down below. I will talk more about it if I get feedback on it and people want to hear more about it. What do you think about today's video? If you like this video, press the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not press that subscribe button and the little bell notification right next to it. I am sending you lots and lots of love and lots and lots of wishings for a great day with high frequency, high vibes. Get yourself to a better place by enjoying life, loving it, and seeing it as something and a reality which happens for you, not to you. Wishing you those great wishings of today. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.